Welcome to Thornybush. Thornybush Private Nature Reserve. Hi everybody, my name is Mark. Welcome to our live drive this morning, albeit a few minutes late. Apologies for that. Blame it on GoPros. It's the GoPro's fault. Aaron on camera, Becky and David in final control. I do hope you enjoy the morning with us. Hyena tracks coming into camp. And a pretty grey and dull day. Let's hope we can brighten it up with some colour, like colour from a spotted cat, or maybe make it more grey with elephant. Hello Impala and Guinea fowl. Two little Impala boys playing, but they stopped now. Ooh, what's this left? Just a big hyena track. It was running. See, when an animal runs, it will scratch. When an animal runs, the force of the foot hitting the sand makes the track a lot bigger than if it was just walking, and deeper, and splashes, like an impact crater. It splashes the sand out of the track. So you can tell sometimes when an animal is running. It depends on the sand. Drongo. So this morning we're going to wander around this southern section for a few minutes. We're not racing off the speed of the boom because they weren't shouting this morning. The GoPro. So what this kind of weather one would rather, let's put it this way, without this kind of weather, normal weather, animals are likely to be out in the open during the night. But with this kind of weather, that's likely to be more thicket out of the wind. I don't know if this is going to turn into a drizzle, or once again it's going to be this battle between the sun and the cloud when the sun eventually rises, which it should be doing about now anyway. But of course we're not even quite thick the cloud, so we're not really going to see maybe not even any colour coming up in the eastern sky. out of any of the drives. Strangely enough. There are some zebras. Our local family of zebras. Impala. Marky, I haven't heard anything. Wow, waterside. Not even the right channel. Lick. Thank you. Over there. Under the fig tree. Hello, babe. There's mare and foal. She's looking pretty round. It looks a bit fluffy this morning. Myself in a sticky spot, had to reverse out.
Yeah. Backing up.
Now that's that mare that looks like once upon a time she had a snare or something around her neck, because she's got a break in her mane. Underneath, here comes the other mare and the stallion. Everybody's gonna pull up on the Midas this morning. Not a question. Follow some equine. Equus Vercelli. Well, actually, I think it's called Equus Quacha Vercelli. right in front of the zebra. I think it's the Jura. Okay. See you later. Horses. You horsey type. Cloud. Little bit of pink there in the sky. See the end of the front actually now. It's north. Squirrel shouting. Where is it coming? There. Squirrels making a lot of noise. Not a lot of noise, but the intensity of its noise more than anything else. Tracks around here. Yes. We'll see if I find anything then on the zebra. The only thing a squirrel would be shouting at this time of day like that would be a lift. There aren't any tracks here. Doesn't mean I'm not walking through the forest. morning, Deborah Rose. Nice to hear from you. Deborah Rose is asking about snakes, even though she's got a phobia with snakes. The question that Deborah Rose has is regarding mating, and rather mate selection. Female snakes go for the biggest, longest snake, or not hyena, different hyena. Or does color play a role? In reptiles, color plays a role mostly amongst the males in terms of dominance, in terms of maintaining or establishing, maintaining territory. Generally, adult males in a number of things have very specific coloration that only comes out when they are dominant males, and so yes, I suppose in that sense, I'm wrong. It's not that it only plays a role in the male's lives, but because it plays such a role in the lives of male snakes or male reptiles, and not all reptiles. Remember, whenever I say there are exceptions, and there are even exceptions to those rules, but generally you'll find that an adult male snake will establish and have a territory, and then when he wants to find a mate, it's not so much the female's choice. He just finds the pheromone trail of a female and follows it. It's the scent of a female, the scent of a woman, as it was, within or around his territory. But his territory will be determined by his size and his color, and that, of course, will indicate to the female that he is of mating age and stature. So I suppose yes, size play a role, color plays a role. You'll find with some of the skinks, in fact, some of the lizards that are called skinks. Some of the skinks, adult males, have completely different coloration. I mean, it's like chalk and cheese, apples and oranges, when you see the male versus the female. And you might find that they live communal lives. There's some skinks, rock skinks, where there's lots of them on a whole bunch of rocks. Agamas, another example, where only the male has the color, and all the subordinate and younger males don't ever come into breeding color, and so they don't ever incur the wrath of the breeding male if they can live within his territory, because they just won't mate. Maybe they will. Funny enough, it happens with fish as well. I'm going to pick up a piece of trash. What are the animals eating now? They're eating dried mango. Certified parev by the best in. Ingredients, mango. Would have been funny if it was says dried mango, ingredients, apple and other fruit. May contain nuts. It could possibly be that primates were brought it here, but it also could be that a larger primate, one of the great apes who drives around in a vehicle, left it here. 0.1 gram of that. 0.1 gram. Oh, and it's halal. Okay.
Halal?
Yes. So I suppose it's true. Haram and halal. And kosher for Passover. Aha! So those are old cat tracks. Very old. So I was saying, sometimes you'll find things like some of the fish, some of the lizards and other reptiles, where the young males don't come into breeding colours so that they can live within the territories of the older males who are dominant, and every now and then they sort of sneak behind a rock because they can move around with the females. I wouldn't say without protection, but without the dominant male fighting with them. And so sorry, I'm just getting distracted. Here's this big monitor lizard again. Huge monster monitor lizard. And this is the young crocodile. But no, crocodile tail has a different swagger to it. It's a huge monitor lizard walking around here. Dragon. So every now and then these young males who aren't in full breeding color actually do manage to mate because they can sneak it in somewhere when the dominant male thinks that they just look like other females. That doesn't really happen with snakes. Snakes, they have quite vicious fights. You'd think it's difficult for a snake to fight, but they wrap each other around each other and they try and pin each other down, and well, in snake terms it can get quite intense. I might be lifting a little bit. Looks like it's just to the left. Doesn't wait. Okay. Well, sort of. So Vivian in Chicago. Hello, Vivian. In Chicago. Asking if there are any snakes here that have mating habits like the garter snakes in America, and no, we don't have anything like it. That's quite an amazing thing, by the way. The whole thing, I can't do this without falling. Garter snakes, wow, when there's one female in estrus, all the males yeah, it's quite intense, but there's nothing like that I know of. in South Africa. Funny enough, we have a garter snake, but they're somewhat venomous. But they don't breed like the North American garters en masse like that. The time has come, the walrus says, to look for elephants and things. Paraphrase. Somehow when I go to the northeast, I think I'm going to miss something in the northwest. You know what it's like. Turn left and you think you should have turned right. Hamacook flying upriver. Missing a few primaries there, Hamacook. Missing a few feathers. It is pretty amazing. Different layers. Yeah. Stop and listen for a bit. Oh, almost saw the sun. The sun's going to win today. Burn it open. Somebody's playing with a chainsaw outside the reserve. Disturbing the peace and quiet of African morning. We are on the edge of the reserve here. We are right down in the southeastern corner still, so and a cool and actually not much of a wind. You can see the cloud moving, but there isn't really much of a breeze down here. But boy, is it bringing the sound from outside the reserve. Near vehicles, near a chainsaw. Earlier I heard dogs barking. So we move deeper into the reserve where we're not going to be hearing human sounds. It's the beauty of living where I do. I'm 60 kilometers away from the nearest human settlement, although there are lodges and camps near me, and occasionally I hear vehicles. I don't hear roosters, I don't hear dogs. And not that I have anything against dogs, I love dogs.
I'll get you a dog when I visit you.
You'll get me a dog?
Yep.
As long as it's like made in Hong Kong dog.
Definitely.
And it doesn't need feeding.
Chinese hot dog.
Morning, Leslie. Yes. Leslie wants to know if you're recording it.
Yep.
Yes, we got it. Oops, find the rock mark. Wide and close. And there's actually grayer sky moving in, but we'll see what happens. We shall see. Climate change is called. Okay, we'll have a quick look at Albedo Pan and then we're going to come back up to the Leslie Road. I think most of the vehicles have headed up towards Boulder Dam. Such like places. Yes. Hello, Leanne, in Phoenix, Arizona. Hoping those wildfires have fallen. Been some pretty bad stuff happening in Arizona and Colorado, and the tragedy of 19 odd top firefighters all caught in an anyways, Leanne, well, yes, condolences to families and friends. Leanne, what do you say about Corey Busters? Or any Corey Busters in the area? I'm not sure, Leanne, if Corey Busters have ever been seen here at Thornybush. I'm not sure whether there are enough there, whether there is the right habitat for them. Corey Busters require, look at that, a lone gardenia flower on that tiny little, it's a tiny little sprig of a gardenia, and there's a single little gardenia flower. We can't get closer to it. Sorry, Leanne. Actually, not even a fresh flower. It's faded a little bit, so it's 2 days old. When they're fresh, they're pure white. Leanne. So, Corey busted. Can we go?
Yep.
Corey bustards have a very particular habitat type, which is wide open, huge open grassland. And while they do occur in the Kruger Park and in some areas where there are open plains, certainly down south of Thornybush where we are, there isn't anywhere near open enough area. I mean, this little open area here is like a, well, not good enough. They need hundreds of acres of open plains, like the secretary birds. So, I don't know, maybe, I think maybe Ken was watching. Kenny's been to the northern part of Thornybush. Maybe Kenny knows whether there's habitat up there for Corey busters. Kenny might have seen. Kenny from Durban, Kenny Leg. But I have never been up there, so I don't know whether they're open grasslands. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if they're Corey busters up there. They are sort of territorial, I suppose. I don't know, actually. They must be. They must have specific areas. They're not migratory. So far, only a few buffalo tracks. There's a big monster buffalo that's hanging around here late. And there's giraffe now. But he's probably in the thicket right now. He's not out in the open. Hang on. Was that to Anne? I'm not sure who that was. I had the other radio going. Morning, Joanne. Hot and humid Massachusetts. Joanne wants to know if the dams and waterholes are purely for all the boot sake, but I thought it might have been something else. The dams and waterholes, are they purely for animals or are they also for flood control? Actually, funny enough, you should mention that, Joanne, because actually they exacerbate flood conditions rather than act as flood control, because they are not engineering doesn't exist, so they're just landowners who put an earthen wall. And as was seen last year during the severe floods, most of the dams along some of the major dry rivers in the Thornybush couldn't sustain well, it was like a domino effect. One dam burst, and because of the power of that water, the next dam burst, and then the next dam burst. And that, coupled with with 2 years of rainfall in 18 hours, made one of the worst floods in 1,000 years. But mostly the dams and pads are just there for animals, for water. Now, originally a lot of these properties of Thornybush were all self-contained properties. In the original Thornybush, it was only about 1,000 hectares. Now, nearly 15,000 or 14,000. So, originally each landowner had their own little bit of land, and they had their own small population of animals, and so they would have to provide water for their own animals, and that's why so many dams exist, because originally every landowner had to have dams on their property. And then when all the fences came down and Thornybush got bigger and bigger, there was no thought, or there was no study done on the ecological impact of many dams. That's one of the reasons why this southern region of Thornybush is so dense, is because there aren't any dams down here. I mean, we've got the one little pan south of the river. There's another little watering hole near camp, and there's a little bit of water in the river. But between us and Longwan Dam and Waxpool Pan, there's nothing. None of this whole area down south has got any water, and so the animals don't utilize it because they're all up in the north where most of the water is. Animals will stay where there's water and they'll find food, but they won't go where there's food and no water. Animals are water dependent. They don't want to trek. And so when you get a lot of dams, they'd rather hang out where all the dams are. Pans, water holes, whatever you want to call them. When the Thornybush and the Sabi Sand and Manyaleti, when some of these private reserves became incorporated within Kruger, when the Kruger Park fence came down and they became what we call contractual parks to Kruger, the National Parks Board then had control over the ecology of the whole area, because to me it was the greater Kruger National Park. And although it's still privately owned land, the landowners themselves can't just put in a dam. So to a large extent, some of the dams that existed in Thornybush, for example, were allowed to exist because they were always there. But now that flood last year burst all those dams, 90% of them aren't allowed to be rebuilt because it's not viable ecologically to maintain them, because there's just far too much water. And of course what happens is it applies a lot of pressure to an area, especially in the dry season. Animals need to move seasonally, they need to move around a lot, and by having a lot of dams, this keeps animals in an area. I wasn't thinking of us coming on this road. Oh well, we're on it. I wanted to get up to the Letty Road. That looks like an animal slip there or drag mark. So take the Letty Road to the east first, to the fence line. I want to see what has crossed north-south as well as what might have gone east-west. So far coming onto this road there's nothing in the way of anything moving east-west, but it's quite a long east-west road. In fact, we're going to cross, I think let's cross the entire northern region of our traversing area, our signal area. We'll cross it from east to west, see what animals may have come south out of the north, if anything. And Celia Road, Shiny Road. They've got lion tracks, they've got elephant tracks up north. So far it doesn't sound like they've found anything yet. Okay, here's the Becky. Pretty fresh leopard dog. And tracks. Heading east. Kevin, are there ever any wildfires? Yes, there are. I've had some pretty hairy wildfire moments myself, fighting fires. So, where's this leopard go? Not like I can test the temperature of leopard dung like I can with elephant dung. Maybe I should get one of those things you have, yeah, for roasting meat. Okay, we're going to go this way, then we'll come back and have a look. But I think he just crossed the road. Yes, actually Africa burns every year, Kevin. Severe fires rage through Africa this time of year, from here all the way up to Sahara. One of those things. And here in Africa, there are no such thing as firefighters and aeroplanes to douse the flames. People to jump out of aeroplanes to fight the fires. No such thing as firefighters. The guys, staff in the lodges that sometimes head out to fight fires. Just gonna have a look at the fence line. I know it's not pleasant, but somebody's got to do it. I've driven a Land Rover through walls of flame before there, and it just going down the fence line. Just come back to the road. Gonna go down this way a little bit. Going beyond this little loop that moves out away from the fence. We'll see. He might be walking there still. There's a hammock up there. So I can't move the car to see what's on that side. In here. What's that? What's that to go first?
They're working, but no, they're not.
Oh. No, GoPros are not working. GoPros have gone amateur. No longer pro, and I can't do the little thing along the fence. Hyena. This is hyena. Ordinarily, there is tracks there now. That side. He has gone down the fence line. In and out. Oh well. Let me know, Becky. Let me know if you hear those baboon barks, because then that means that he's I saw way down towards Almeida Fan, I could see the roof. We hear them barking, and we know he's there. Right. Let's go west. Ordinarily, I'm pretty confident finding leopard with tracks, but somehow these Thornybush leopards, they're another story. I'm starting to get the impression that a lot of these Thornybush leopards actually don't like vehicles. I've never found it so hard to track leopards. Track them until you get to a point where like they've just disappeared, but that's because they just walk into the bush, sit down, and you can't see them from the road. I think I've had 2 or 3 successful leopard tracking experiences here out of being here for 2 months. That's 2 again. When the levee breaks, Led Zeppelin. I haven't got my iPod yet. Becky wants me to sing. I don't think that's a good idea. Sing a song, you're the piano man. I can't sing, I can't hold a tune to save my life. We're all in the mood for a melody. You've got us feeling alright. Who was that? Neil Starker? I don't know, I can't remember. Who sang the Piano Man? Was it Billy Joel? It was... I forget. Big Buffalo Frisbee. Bust into a buffalo pretty soon, or 2. I wish they would turn into elephants. I said I don't like buffalo. Just I wish they'd turn into elephants. Let us doing the buffalo dung slalom today. Oh, look, that woodpecker just flew out of there. Wing, 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 wing. Martilla. New name for the Melba finch. Greenback Martilla. Green-winged Martilla. Why can't it just say Melba finch? Pillars, Cameropterus, and Aeromomelas. So we get some real names for these. The smallest birds have the biggest names. Tiny little thing called a Cameroptera. You get this big thing called a stork. A big thing would be called a Cameroptera, and a little thing would be called a fish. What is this? There's a skull or something in there. Or something white. Grass is drying out and there's things that are becoming more visible. It's not, it's a shoulder blade from a giraffe or something. Scapula. Well, you see, the other thing is, this weather, cloudy, colder, and stuff, hiding the animals away. So the animals are hiding away from the weather. Now you see why when I saw the elephants when they were on our side of the world, why I spent hours with them, because I knew that if they went back north we weren't going to see them for a while. That's why if they ever come back our side of this road, this is our northern road, we can go a few meters north of this road. In fact, we can do that now. We'll take this Mangawan extension up to Nanzan Road. I think we should still have signal all the way to Nanzan. Might lose it when we get to Nanzan Road. This little shortcut to Nanzan, but it's opening up a little bit more, so maybe the signal will stay a bit longer. Hardly ever driven this road because of the signal. Soon to be fixed, I think. funny how cruel moments when I need to hear it. Vindication. Before you come through, please wait a minute. Anna's coming? You need a hand there. Males, and I'm saying no. These Marcus is also no, and it's just a male. This sound too loud. What did he say? You can mistake male and female. But I can't help that because there are two people there. Coming through this. Funny, that road, I was like 2 meters north of the road, no signal, get back to the road. Oh well, what I did do is there was a big marula tree, and I found something to show you. So we're just going to stop here. I'm going to dig for my pocket knife. Marula fruits. 3 different things to show you. This is this is the most unusual thing in the world. Green marula fruits. In winter. Okay, so I'll take my earpiece out so that I can show you something. So we can talk about marula fruit for a little bit. This is the fruit. Now normally marulas only fruit in January. My whole life they've only ever fruited in January. And I can still hear that radio even though it's not even in my ear. Go away, radio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a cross section. It's not ripe, it goes yellow when it's ripe, it's almost ripe. There we go. Actually what we need to do is we need to do it this way as well. can't really. I love the smell of marula. You ever tasted marula, Eric?
Marula's alcohol.
It's a bit sour probably, but it's very high in vitamin C. Not the skin, just like the pulp. But you can see the stone is actually very, very thick. There's only that's an eighth of an inch. There's like half a centimeter there, 5 millimeters of actual fruit between the stone and the skin. Very thick, leathery skin. They're delicious. Anyway, so that's the fruit, and it's that pulp that makes marula juice and marula beer, and eventually gets used for amarula. I need to get some wet wipes actually. And then this is a fruit that has dried on the ground, and it's the stone with you can see the fruit's gone, but the skin, there's still skin over the nut, over the stone. It's not the nut, it's the stone. There's the dried skin. Oh, is this coming through all right?
Yep.
Give it to a squirrel. This is now the stone without the skin and without the fruit. And inside the stone are 2, sometimes 3 little chambers like that. There's one chamber that's been opened. It's been popped open by something. And the nut lies inside that little chamber. Now, I'm going to try my best. This one does have 3 chambers. You can barely make out the lid of the chamber. And if you're a squirrel, you have to know there's only one. I've got to look at this closer because there's only one place where you can put something like a squirrel's tooth or a knife or something without stabbing yourself in the finger. There's only one place where you can actually lift the lid off of there that can get this chamber open. Yeah, watch this. Oh, maybe stab myself. There, boom. Okay, look at that. There's only one place you can do that. And it takes a squirrel years to learn how to do that. But that pops open, and unfortunately this chamber is empty. There's no nut in it. It didn't develop. The nut didn't develop. Anyways, look at that. E.T. Steven Spielberg's not that creative. He just found something in nature. He was on a trip to Africa once, and he saw marula nut, and that's how E.T. was born. See if I can get this other chamber open and see if there's a nut in it. Oh, let's try that angle. See, like this guy. I'm not a very well trained squirrel. Yes, I know. People are saying, careful, Mark, careful, Mark. I'm trying to be careful. In all my years of opening marula nut, it's still not easy to find that one little spot to pop the lid. Unusual nut this because it's got 3 chambers. Most of them only have 2. Nice to have. There we go. Got it. And it's empty, infertile marula fruits. If I bring that closer, you go into macro? I'm going to use my other hand because this one's got a plaster on my thumb on that other one. Got a grass cut.
And it just transformed.
Transformers! Africa style. That is a giraffe toe, Sharon. Where's that other toe? Where the wildebeest toe? No, those are other pieces of bone that I found that I've got to play with. What did I do with that wildebeest toe? show you the difference in size. And then I wanted to find an impala's toe, but I couldn't. Oh well, maybe one day. That's why I'm keeping the giraffe toe, because I want to find other animals' toes. I want to line up their toes. Anyway, so that's the ruler fruit. Boom. Okay, let's see what's happening with those lions. Sharing anything. My earpiece got dead. That's weird. Can you hear anything?
I can hear the volume thing going up and down.
Okay, well I can't. Something's gone wrong with this earpiece all of a sudden. I can hear the other earpiece. All I heard was Makulu Saki. What's that, a human? A wildebeest. Must be something wrong if I'm confusing humans with wildebeest. It was working fine a minute ago. No, it's where it plugs in to. I'm gonna have to undo everything now. Excuse me everyone, but I can't really operate without my earpiece as much as I would love to. Start cut. I thought I put them in the vehicle. Okay. Excuse me. Maybe we can get a question, and Aaron, you can hear us, eh?
I can see both ways.
Well, I can sort of hear it coming through on my other earphone that's wrapped up in duct tape, but that's not the one that's on. So Becky can send it, Aaron can hear it, and I can try and sort this out in the meantime while I'm talking to you. But for the time being, I've got it fixed. So, can you hear Becky? Becky, if you can hear me, send the question to Aaron. He can try and relay it to me while I'm trying to fix my earpiece, which for some inexplicable reason has decided not to work.
Kevin in Boston.
Kevin in Boston. Hello, Kevin.
Yeah, no, the other radio's going off.
Okay. Let me just turn that off. Okay. Try again, Becky.
Try. Are animals generally migrating from north to south or east to west? Kevin in Boston.
Hello, Kevin. Are animals migrating north to south or east to west? Neither. It isn't a migration. Okay, this has finally given up its ghost. Sorry folks, I've got to sort out a problem here. So we're just going to have to answer questions and talk to you about other things. Kevin was asking on migrations east, west, north, south. In the past, in history, there was evidence that animals had seasonal movements between the Kruger, where it is now, and the mountains in the west. So there was somewhat of an east-west, I wouldn't call it a migration as such, but perhaps most just seasonal utilization of different areas. I suppose there's semantics between that and what is a migration, but animals here don't really migrate. Only places where there was vast open plains and things where animals migrated, the grassing, the grazing, grasslands. Duct tape is impossible to undo once it's done, when you've got some really good duct tape. Sorry, I'm fighting with duct tape. See, this is the earpiece I was using. It's no longer working. Something has happened to it while I was looking at marula fruits. So I've got to take this other earpiece that has been taped up. I've got to take this off and use this as my primary earpiece and tape the other one up, because it seems to be that this is the only one that's working now. Where is the duct tape, by the way? I'm going to need it at some point.
Probably went in here.
No, it isn't here. It's got to be in here, because I especially keep it in here. But I'll find it when I need it. What a mission, folks. This is a mission. Otherwise we just do a drive without questions, and then I can't hear what animals there are. But half the whole thing is about questions. And
Billy Joel, piano man from Vivian in
Chicago,
and she says something like, she's always amazed at how you know so many of their songs.
Vivian in Chicago, piano man, amazed how we know so many of the songs.
Yeah.
Well, we all grew up with them together. I mean, it's all the same stuff that gets played all over the world. We do have local musicians, but yeah, I suppose international, you know. Billy Joel was very big in South Africa in the 70s. Nearly done, one more piece. And then all I've done is undone everything. Then I've got to still get it to work and tie it up again. But wow, this duct tape is probably the stickiest duct tape I've ever had. Right, that piece can stay off. Now, which one is the one that I need? This is the one I think that works. Yeah, let's test it and see. There we go. Not very clear. No. See, the weirdest thing is that it doesn't work if you plug it all the way in. It only works if you plug it halfway in. It's strange. Thanks, Vivian. Confirming that it was Billy Joel, Piano Man. Only thing is that it works, but it only works if I hold it. Doesn't work if I... maybe now. Now I need the duster. There we go. Fixing things in the field. Now, I'm hoping I don't ever have to take that duct tape off again, because it's not going to come off. Now, cable ties, little ones. I hear a helicopter. Right, now we got that one. Nearly there, nearly there. Another question, Becky, because now I can hear the question. Except I've got a hissing, a permanent hissing in my ear, which is not which is going to be rather painful. Ouch. And one more piece of tape. Oh no, wait, there's one more piece that has to be done. What is that to do now? A few more things. That I need to stick this earpiece onto my earphone. So, there we go, like that. Oh boy, what a mission. That tape is deadly. So that goes over here and there. So this is improvising. But improv. If I could just get my hair out of the way. One of these days I'm going to get irritated with my hair and I'm going to cut it off and then I'm going to be sorry. But, so, I've got earpiece and special thingamajig from a Skype earpiece, from a Skype phone thingy. Man, this is, I'm sorry to take so long, but this is important. So I've got to match where that piece is and that piece is, and then use the magic of duct tape to hold it in place and hope that when I put it in my ear, no, it's not working.
Those are people.
Those are people. Yeah, garden tracking. There, now, got to do something about this piece. So I'm just gonna have to when I go home at the end of this, I'm not going to see duct tape for as long as I can, I hope. I don't want to see duct tape for as long as I can. Dubula Road, what's on Dubula Road? Yes, what's the question? Becky? Yes, it does make sense, Amanda. Thanks, Becky. Okay, we can go now. Morning, Amanda. Alabama. Asking if I found out whether the ranger who supposedly found the black eagle yesterday, whether he really did find a black eagle. Well, Jonathan, one of the other guys, went there and came over the radio and said that it's confirmed it is a black eagle. I will only believe it when I see a photograph. I'm sorry, I can't see a black eagle even, and they said something about a nest. Black eagles only look for bases. Look, naked, they're always naked. So, who knows, maybe, I just think it's highly unlikely. And I don't know what expect Jonathan has. We are probably going to bump into two anti-poaching patrol guys, and yes, they will have weapons, and yes, they will hide them, and yes, there will be people saying, oh, they're poachers, and trust me, these are anti-poaching patrols. And unless it's a guide and he's tracking some animal. If they were not anti-poaching patrol, they would hide away and probably shoot at us. Last time we bumped into a couple of these guys, there was a lot of consternation. And maybe they took another road. There's no way that poachers are going to be able to walk around with the amount of vehicles driving around here in this part of Thornybush, especially with the lion and stuff that they're tracking. Poachers won't go to an area where there are dirt roads with so many tire tracks, so many vehicles moving around. Having said that, they have had some poaching in the Sabi Sands, but it's kind of remote areas of the Sabi Sands. There's a buffalo. Hello, buffalo. You've got a stick coming out of your throat. Having a rub on that stick, probably. Yeah. Look at that in his ear. He's using it as an earbud. Careful, you'll burst your eardrum there, dude. Right inside his ear. That stick is now full of buffalo earwax. Yummy. Oh, you must have a seriously itchy ear, this boy. That's how you deal with it. I mean, that's like the equivalent of putting a toothpick in your ear. Now the other ear. Pick in his back leg. Yeah, his other back leg is lifting like a dog. Yes, very nice, buffalo. Then you lick your earwax.
Oh, come on, man. That's not decency.
I suppose that's how he tests whether his ears.
His taste blood is like up what you need.
Yes, and now he's picking his nose with his tongue.
Oh,
Why is he doing that? Because he can. Imagine being able to have a runny nose, just instead of a tissue. We're not laughing at you, Mr. Buffalo, we're laughing with you. Now, back to this here. It's rather unusual behavior, hey? Now he's trying to get just that, where his boss is trying to get that stick just underneath his boss. Give a good scratch there.
Clever.
Yeah. This is tool use by a buffalo.
Gonna be elated.
And back to the ear. Really getting a scratch in his ear with that stick now. Becky. That's good. Clint, what's the most unbelievable thing I've witnessed while doing drives? Unfortunately, no way for me to try. I don't know. I've tried to try and sort out 30 years of driving, walking, and boat safaris. Strange that I can't think of anything at the top of my head that stand. I don't know. There are some really incredible things, and there, I say, well, that's the most, because something will always eclipse something that you see. You'll see something amazing, and then nature, that's the way nature is. Many hundreds of incidents that have been incredible. It's like I've been off the most, because there's always something that sometimes in nature, you can't say one thing is better than another, because nature is just incredible. I've seen things with ants that's been absolutely amazing, but I've seen things with elephants, with lions, with crocodiles, with underwater on dives. I've seen things. So it's nature is just one of those things that is incredible, and nothing really can really be put down as better than anything else. Okay, shall we go? He's back on his stick again. morning, Nikki in Pennsylvania. 10 years old. You're up a little bit late, aren't you? There you go, that boating guy up Central Road. Lucky they missed the buffalo. Nikki, happy 4th of July, by the way. Probably around about 4th of July. It must be after midnight already. I wonder, should we take Cheshire North? I like that one little rocky section on this road. Has an animal ever attacked me? Yes. An animal has attacked me, Nikki. Suppose you want me to elaborate. But then I'll give you nightmares. Don't want to do that. Can't go there. Starting to think that Hannes was having me on. Now they're talking about female lions. Are we taking with Ngala or Spanish? Oh, it's a hip bone, piece of a hip. Probably in kudu, maybe. It's a bit big for impala. You can see where the femur on it turns. You can see where the femur fits into that hook right there at the microphone. Sorry, everyone. Anyways, my wife stopped. Oh, old piece of bone. I stopped for this. Five quills from a porcupine. And the only reason why there would be 5 quills in one place, if porcupines drop their quills periodically, the only reason why there would be 5 quills here was if there was a fight or something. Or if a leopard was trying to catch one. The ground is too hard. I'm going to have a look at tracks a little bit further down. We'll have to stand over here. Maybe there's something here. But I think they've been lying there. There aren't even any tracks, so they must have been lying there for days. Nobody's driven this road for a long time. So it could have been a leopard trying to catch porcupine, could have just been 2 porcupines having an argument. sort of vertebra. Yeah, it must be a kill site. There's another piece of bone there. Killed somewhere in this vicinity. Another fragment there, but very, very old. That leopard. Adam, I wish he would. Sighting is that? Is that the black cap? Probably thank you. Anyone with Tumadora? Getting on. Monkey. This is the troop from Longwan Dam, these monkeys. Very sad, they all run away already. Oriole. Green pigeons, look at them, wow. Piling out of that quarry bush. warmer in the water for crocodile today. Without sunshine. leopard. Yeah. And one that walked down the fence line? Yeah. And up, I went up to any idea what time we were there? Couldn't have been much more after 7. Yeah. We'd only just started. 7:30 he was calling at River Lodge. But once again, maybe if we carried on down the fence line, maybe we would have caught up with him. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll give up with these leopards. What's strange is that after all these drives, I mean, and when we don't see animals like today, we pretty much cover our entire area. We never bump into a leopard on the road like we used to at Juma, or like I do at home. And that's what makes me think that these leopards, a lot of these leopards that we see tracks of and we don't ever see, they shy of vehicles. They hear the vehicles coming, they just move off the road. And then when you try and track them, they just disappear. They catch, they dissolve. I don't think so, Hannes. What happened to the Tumador and Ghana? Guess I should answer the radio then. Hello. Interesting colors on those leaves. It's never going to come out on a photograph. Signal's not great, so don't know if anyone's seen it. Green and yellow and red and brown and one, three pretty colors. Well, we're on salute. Signal should be fine. Problem going through that. Fix your encoder, Becky. weather then or something, but signal's normally fine here. Something's happened to the bit rate or something. No. Okay, let's see what's at Waxpool Dam. No lion. Buffalo. Negative. Yeah, affirmative. Affirmative. Kwa sababu okay, Charlie obviously didn't hear my answer because maybe we were breaking up a little bit. Yes, Charlie, we do have aardvark, and they are probably prey to lion and leopard on occasion, but not very often. One never sees it. I've never seen in my entire life an aardvark being killed by anything, or having been killed. Of course, you can't go by what I see. I mean, I'm just one person. Some people are lucky. Some people see aardvark often. Depends on where you are. In some places there are aardvark, and they're quite common. And here in this part of the world, Sabi Sand, Mbati, here at Thornybush, and in the places that I've lived in East Africa and in Botswana, don't see aardvark. Count on one hand the times I've seen aardvark my entire life. And so I'm sure that occasionally one gets killed by a lion or a leopard, but as I say, I've never seen it. Hope the signal's going to hold. I want to come down this way, look for lions. There's some report of some lion down this way or something this morning. This is where I tracked that one lion yesterday. But then it went out of signal range, but evidently they came back north again. There's somewhere south of this road wicket and east of the next junction. Not where this Impala is standing. Or these Impala for that matter. Can't be here. Yo, welcome back. In and out of signal, we're sort of bouncing around the western edge of our signal range. Trying to pick up on some sign of lion, but so far nothing. Spinning their tires. Somebody gonna snap a side shaft. Back up towards Wexford Dam. Have a look. Finance, come in. Did you have a Konzo or did you have a Ngala this morning with my daughters? Alright, thanks. Been up and down. So they've been in this block. We've just done this loop around this block. So they are somewhere in here. Came out of this. There are tracks here on this road, but they've been driven over a lot. When is this your mobile tracks from where those in Gala were? Alright, thanks. Right here where this old wildebeest kill was. Morning, James. Asking if the wild dogs have made it down. So the wild dog have disappeared, James. No tracks, no sign of them this morning. Nobody's talking about them. But no, we would have been a buzz if they had been even seen anywhere. Unfortunately, they maybe just made it today and then they've gone again. They haven't come back out. So, one quick turn back at Waxville Dam and then we'll head back south on this road. There's a wildebeest. I was there earlier. getting stronger and the clouds are very grey up from the south. Cold front. I wonder if that beast, that bull wildebeest in the bush was quite alert. I wonder if these lions haven't even made a kill. That's why that wildebeest is doing what he's doing. Females are being killed by lions. Poke our nose in here where these I'm really not fond of just through bushes in case there's something really open grass here. Look, this is where other stuff come in and out. Goes back out onto the road. Look at the spike point there. Look at the spike. Not very big towers. Pretty bright bush. Okay, go with the question. A zebra. Marco, yes. Monitor was asking if Thornybush has monitors. Yes, we have found a lot of tracks recently. I haven't really seen any monitors. We had one on camera the one day, just a youngster crossing the river. Tracks this morning. That was a big one, very big one. Bush. Thicket. It'll be a nightmare on tires. Pointless driving off road with it. He said they saw something unless 100% sure, but I think it is. Where it is. So anyway, come back this afternoon, maybe they've moved tracks. There are tracks here, but vehicles have driven over them. Although cats do move in this weather, cats can afford to spend a bit of energy. It might help them maintain body temperature by moving around in this kind of weather. You get that, Aaron? You can zoom out a bit. Yeah, evidently zoom out. It is zoomed out. I've forgotten what I was saying. Hi. They also like build up as cats do when it's cold. Bush, fat cat is gone. Really looks like go ahead. Hello, Debbie. Debbie, how can I talk at the same time without a windshield? Bugs here. There's no bugs, Debbie. No bugs, no in this. Most, there aren't that many. People sometimes have the wrong impression line came from here. This is where they tracked stuff 2 days ago. But no, high season this time of the year, very few bugs. Having said that, there have been times when I've followed flies. Talk about insects, not only one type of insect. There are several types of insects. I know almost everything with 6 legs. I like to be precise about things. But audio is always bad this time of the pointers even. Today I had a day of talking drive, nobody heard a thing. One wonders. Here. We were here last night. Well, that's where he went yesterday. My tracks from yesterday. Anyway, say goodbye. We'll see you at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. And well, weather played havoc with this game. What happens on a cold. I'm going to curl up and go sleep and maybe wake up with another day. Hopefully it'll be different later. But yeah, it's a little bit today. Thanks. See you later. Bye everyone.